Dark, he just has such good mechanical skill that as a fluid race like Zerg, he can pull off these kind of weirder or interesting kind of army compositions and make them work anyway. And he's also kind of more willing. He has like that killer instinct. He's more willing to go for the kill move earlier on than like play a little bit more passive and play for a later game.
Yeah. But when we get to the late game, oh man, that's where Dark thrives, as we spawn into Data under the sea for game number 1, where of course in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in that bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player this time, not playing Protoss, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Dark.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data under the sea, we have the Chinese Terran player himself representing ZvT Gaming. It is time.
Yeah, Dark definitely had his fill playing the hardest race, as chat reminds us. And he decides to go back to something a little bit more manageable here for a series against time.
There you go. Protoss is the hardest race. I have to micro my disruptor so I don't kill my own units. I have to chrono boost. I have to edit my config file to rapid spawn in gateway units. I have to keep getting new F2 and A keys all the time.
Yeah. You got to make sure that your A key is usable for your Colossus.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, we had a little bit of fun earlier. Dark, I'm sure, had fun as well, kind of flexing with some new set of tools. But now we are back to serious business here. We're back to something where time may have to switch things up. We've seen nothing but 3cc Banshee openers from him, but against Dark, it may be time to switch things up.
Yeah. Maybe time to take a little bit more risks here, potentially, in the early game. Throw out something a bit more, well, I want to say a bit more aggressive, but it's not... Yeah, I would say a bit more aggressive. I mean, his series against Rex looked aggressive, but that was only because he saw openings to be aggressive. I didn't want to say aggressive so many times.
I know. Yeah.
He saw openings to attack, there we go, and that's why it looked that way, but yeah, we'll see. Dark is definitely a player who knows how to be a bit more defensive. I wouldn't really describe him as a defensive Zerg player, but he knows how to just keep himself alive or to just stall until he gets into the late game.
Ooh, speaking of, we do see, one drone getting picked off there by Time. Very nicely done. Nice little pickoff here at the start of the game, a pickoff that really shouldn't be happening at this level of play. So Dark slipping up a little bit. It's not the biggest of deals, but definitely a nice little win for Time.
Yeah, a little bit of a morale victory, if nothing else. Confirms, yep, that's 3 hatcheries coming my way. It's playing a bit more standard. I shall reciprocate by going 3cc before starport once more.
Yeah, this is looking just like the 3cc Banshee build we've seen time and time again, and I guess it makes sense. Time has been able to warm up against Rex. We should be seeing a tech up here on this Rax for an add-on switch. There we go, it is on the way. So nothing too crazy from Time. Meanwhile, looking at Dark, likewise, he is just droning. No early Roach Warren yet.
Not yet. Okay, I have confirmation. If I ignore the error message, Discord progresses as normal.
When was the last time you turned off your PC?
Thursday. I should restart my PC.
I know there have been some Discord updates these past couple of days, so maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, it's all good.
Probably.
Good. Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
As we do see Dark again, I love the way that he's spreading out his units. He's just positioning his queens to deny any kind of scouting as he's going straight for his lair.
Just like so, typical Dark, as we have come to expect. 41 workers doesn't look like a lot to go into the mid game, but considering this is Dark we're talking about, he does like to play a little bit of a lower economy before progressing.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. He's just going to continue to drone up. He's a relatively greedy Zerg player. You know, he's laying his Evo chambers, he's laying his Roach Warren as well for that lair. And we'll see what he uses that lair for. I'm thinking, yep, there we go. He's going for a Nidus.
What is with everyone today and Nidus Swarms? I'm not complaining, but yeah, it's a little bit odd to see. I hope this becomes a new meta.
Oh boy, I mean, for Dark specifically, this is something that he loves to do, whether it's Nidus, whether it's Roaches. He's a very aggressive Zerg player, and we'll see if Time can catch wind of this. We do see an Overlord here on the left-hand side. We do see another one slipping in towards the main base, but there is actually a Banshee here to scout, and this Banshee will be able to shut down any kind of Nidus.
Yeah, especially if it starts shooting at it as it pops up. Cloak is about to finish up here. Will that be the point where Time actually moves the Banshee out of position? We shall see. One Nidus being thrown out outside natural base. Meanwhile, Dark is just trying to manage against these Hellions.
Yeah, and what do we have to defend right now? We do have a reactor on the way on that factory, which means there is currently no tank. 30C is on the way. There we go. The Nidus has been revealed. This is the first time that Time catches wind of this, and he's rushing back home, but he's quite out of position.
Yeah, quite a bit to say the least. And as you said, there were no tanks. Thankfully, the Banshees were kept at home, so it can definitely aid a lot in the defense. Queen's acting as a buffer for the Lings. You don't see it. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the Queens are sorting out these Hellions, but at the same time, will the Hellions find damage anyway? They've come across the large majority of the Lings here. Meanwhile, the repairs are on point, but the wall has been broken.
Yeah, that was such unfortunate timing here for Time that the Banshee, or rather the Nidus Worm, was starting to get popped out behind the lines. The SCVs could not repair as they were attacking that Nidus, and a lot of them end up going down as a result of that.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it looks like one Queen finally does end up falling, but the natural base has been forfeited. At the same time, the Hellions go for a bit of a run by here. Dark is in the middle of droning, by the way. He is not all in by any means. He's in the middle of transitioning. Time, looking at the worker count, he has kept the majority of his SCVs alive, and he does have triple CCs.
Yeah, this was necessary damage that Dark needed to do to equalize, but he is not planning on stopping. Immediately takes out both eBays, actually. That's going to delay the upgrades by quite a lot.
Yeah, there we go. The third CC is under threat as well. So Dark, not just taking out these upgrades, but he's even spreading creep in the natural to make sure that the natural is not retaken.
This supply block is killing Time, man. And by killing Time, I mean killing Paynon, not, not stalling for anything. Nice little bit of, nice use of the choke point here from Time, but I think he actually lost more Marines than he wanted to the friendly fire. So in the end, Dark comes out very much on top.
Oh, and I love this Nidus placement as well in the third base. Once again, just spreading all this creep. Eventually, the Queens are going to be forced away, but we need to scan. And there's only one landed orbital. We don't have enough energy. Like, he has energy on his natural CC, but he just can't land.
He can't land it, and even if he does scan, that means one fewer mule, and he needs to start remining as quickly as possible. Hey, there's another Nidus in the main base, because why the hell not? Dark is just having fun at this point.
Yeah, and here we go. Time is 100% all in right now. He's going across the map. He's hoping that maybe Dark droned up too much. Looking at the units tab, Dark has 5 Roaches and 3 Ravagers, 10 Queens to defend. No Ling Bane, but Lings are in production as we speak, and Time has to make this push work.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of Lings that are on the way, and that'll definitely help. Good. Biles does take out one of the tanks, but 2 of them are still standing strong. Time may have a chance here.
He does have a chance. It looks like the second tank barely goes down. There's only 1 tank remaining. The army sims on forward. We do not have enough energy for any more transfuses. Time is breaking on through, but he's also running out of Marines.
Yeah, the medevacs were targeted down earlier on, so every stim hurts so much. Dark loses a couple of drones, but what just pops out of the eggs? A whole bunch of roaches that are just looking to clean up the rest of the remnants of this army.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the tank finally does go down. We do see Time barely forced back here. Dark Heat even had to pull the boys to defend. And after all said and done, Dark barely has a worker lead. The creep is still being such a nuisance here, but at least Time has regained control of his natural.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, he's going to be remaking all those. He should be able to land the third, if not for the Nidus still being kept alive. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
and Night at a time evidently.
The Nidus is still up and running. He was in the middle of cleaning it up, actually. Meanwhile, Dark has to be careful not to overextend. We do have a lot of bio here, but oh my god, we have so much more Roach Ravager.
Yeah, overextending was definitely the issue with Rex in that previous series. Dark does not want to make that same mistake. He pushes forward with his Ravagers, and he's able to bile down one of the tanks, but not both of them. A lot of Marines are simming on forward, and they're cleaning up a decent amount of Ravagers. You gotta give him that.
Yeah, like, I feel like Time is trading efficiently. He just can't really keep up with the production of Dark right now. He's going to dive on forward. He's actually going to try and focus fire whatever he can. The Ravagers, the Queens, the Roaches, but he loses a lot of Marines, and he cannot replace them. GG.
Dark takes game number 1. If this was any other Zerg player, I would say 44 workers, that's nowhere near enough. That's nowhere near enough drones to sustain this push. But that's exactly the scenarios where Dark excels for some reason. His drones just mine a little bit more than other drones.
They do. And with that, GG, well played. Time almost held, but we saw Dark was so persistent when it came to just throwing down constant Nidus Worms wherever he could. Not just that, his creep spread, his queen control, and I guess it all did kind of come down to the fact that he was also able to keep this all hidden from Time until the Nidus popped out across the map.
Yeah, he definitely had that element of surprise. But I guess he also just really understood that when you get into a low econ game like this, especially from the Terran player's perspective, every mule counts. I love what he was doing, not just with the Nidus Worms, but with the creep spread as well, when the queens were popping off. Just being able to force these every now and then 1 or 2 scans out of Time. I think that really did make the difference. It added up. Maybe if he had one more tank in that all-in, you know, maybe if he had one more tank in that defense, he might have been able to keep the game going, but alas, 'twas not to be.
Yeah, it was close though. Like that counterattack from Time, he almost broke Dark straight up. Like Dark had 0 energy left. Dark survived. I think it was 2 queens and 3 roaches.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah, it was very, very close in the end, and now he's up 1-0.
Indeed, he is, as we load into Stargazer. We're over here in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We, of course, have our blue Zerg player coming out from that land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Dark.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Stargazers, we have his opponent, the Chinese Terran player representing KaiZ Gaming. It is Time.
His usual build didn't quite work out for him in game number 1, but I mean, it was also a little bit of a awkward opening coming out from Dark. I have to wonder, is he going to switch things up here on Stargazers? The map where, out of all the maps in the current pool, this is probably the one where you want to, be the most wild on.
Yeah, you could argue that Stargazers is maybe the best map to Nidus on because there's space in the main. Then plus that, you have the pocket base as well, which could be Nidus, and then you have the area towards the south, so there's so much room to kind of utilize, and that's probably the reason why Rex did go for his own Nidus play on this map. But is it too obvious? Do you want to be doing that kind of strategy 2 games in a row?
Yes.
I know that's what you want. Oh my god. But like Time, you know, he's one of the best Terran players in the foreign scene. You know, he's up there with the likes of Juanito, with the likes of Big Gabe. You know, like he is one that can adapt. Yeah.
I've swallowed the Asher pill in these past couple of days. I definitely think that Time is probably number 1 or number 2, the only next to Clem.
Oh yeah, Asher, he's a massive Time fanboy. But for good reason, you know. And we ourselves have had our kind of our period where we were massive fans of Panan as well. You know, that was back in the day when he was first debuting, when he was spending time in Korea as well with Cloudy, with No Regret, with Scarlet. Like Time, he's put in the work, he's put in the hours, to the point where he has been recognized internationally.
Hungry. And now he's starting to devour.
He's starting to devour, Bobby. He's starting to take hold, to take root. But for now, 3CC.
Before Starport.
Yeah, here we go. Wouldn't be surprised if once again we have another Banshee opener here from Time. I mean, it's a very solid opener. It's very safe as well. Last game, if you remember, he was keeping his Banshees at home to try and catch any kind of Nidus play. But if he had gone across the map, maybe he would have scouted the Niduses a little bit earlier and been able to prepare. So yeah, we'll see how he utilizes them this time.
Yeah, it's definitely being a little bit more active with this Reaper, just looking for an opening to jump into that main, and have a look at the mineral lines, have a look at the gases as well, just to get a sense of what Dark would be doing. Did he just trap himself?
Oh.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it looks like he dips on in. He confirms the lack of gas. He confirms the lack of lair as well in the main base. And the Reaper will be able to regen his HP here in the pocket base of Dark. Meanwhile, across the map, there is the add-on switch. There's the Banshee.
Once again, gonna be waiting a little bit for Cloak to come out here. Gonna be waiting for a couple of Hellions to come out here. Gonna just be waiting. We're just gonna chill here.
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna be big chilling as the Reaper dips on back in, just to be a little bit annoying, just to again confirm that okay, we haven't pulled back into gas. This would have been another tell whether or not we have another Nidus play, because we need more gas for Roaches, for Nidus, for Lair. So this time, Time's scouting is much more on point.
Yeah. And he's definitely liking what he sees here. Just a pretty standard opening coming out from Dark. No quick lairs, no 2 base spire, no Nidus worms, nothing. Just 3 hatch, lair, or I guess not lair yet, but 3 hatch, ling speed, drone up hard.
Yeah, we just be droning at the moment, so nothing too crazy. There is our lair. 2 gases are being saturated right now. As Dark likes to do, he does typically delay his own Evo chambers and he delays his upgrades for something else. And this time it is going to be for a Baneling Nest, for a prioritization on Baneling speed.
Yeah, just about what Dark does best, Ling Bane into the late game. It's kind of his bread and butter for a while was Ling Bane all the way up into Ultras, which he would try to get as quickly as possible before the Terran player could get any sort of reaction. We'll see if that's what he opts for this time.
Yeah, fun fact, I think he actually did that this week. I think it was over the Home Story Cup qualifiers, or I can't remember what exactly we did end up casting, but Dark did whip out that Ling Bane Ultra style that, yeah, he was known for in the past, and we don't see too much of anymore.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate because of how... yeah, actually I have to wonder why that is. I blame it on the maps. It's a little bit harder to pull that off when the Terran player is able to fortify on 4 bases or on even 5 bases. Relatively easier than the previous map pool, but I'm sure it would be nice to see it come back.
Also, my mistake, it wasn't the Home Story Cup qualifiers. It was actually WTL. It was actually specifically against Vindicta.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Alrighty then.
Oh my god, yeah. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me as we do see. It's worth watching. It was actually a really sick series, Vindicta versus Dark. But the fourth base was denied here, so nicely done by Time. Meanwhile, Dark, this is a great map for it. Motas.
You already did Nidus. He's getting the Mutas now. What's the checklist for stargazers?
Right? Like, both Rex and Dark, like, Niduses and Mutaplay are very common, and for good reason on stargazers. The map itself does lend towards those styles just because of the short rush distance by air. Meanwhile, finally, the 2 Banshees get across the map to do a little bit more damage, only picking off 1 drone in the end, but more importantly, just keeping Dark on these 3 bases, just making his life as difficult as possible to expand.
Yeah, the last thing he wants on stargazers is for Dark to immediately take his half of the map and start gunning for the gold.
Exactly, we want to try and stop that as quickly as we can. Meanwhile, we do see back at home Time, he's just going into standard bio play. He already has his 3rd base up and running. Again, because this is Stargazers, you can take this quite greedily as a Terran, so for the most part, Time is keeping up economically. Yeah.
It's kind of what he does best, bio play, I do mean. He likes going for these very strong timing attacks on either 1-1 or 2-2. Beautiful target firing on top of those Banelings, but unfortunately for Time, There's just a few too many of them. He is forced to pick up and retreat to the safety of these Hellbats now? No, they're still Hellions.
Yeah. Honestly, that was impressive. I think he lost like 2 Marines and he traded out for 4 or 5 Banelings. Like that was insanely quick target firing there from Time as he's looking to try and be a little bit more aggressive. He has control of the tower. He does spot these mutas.
Yeah, I feel that pain. He immediately lifted up his units, tried to go across the map, saw the mutas, and realized he had to give up the drop play for the time being. He does have a couple of missile turrets already, so his mineral lines should be safe, but yeah, he's gonna have to switch gears when it comes to his production now.
He really will. At the same time, the Banshees, they stray a little bit too close. Looks like they will survive. It looks like the mutas will have to turn around to help clean these up. 5th base is on the way here for Dark. Meanwhile, Time actually immediately did start Thor production. He's got Widow Mines mixed in as well. He is transitioning into an anti-Ling Bane muta army. But as you were saying, even without scouting, he already had a turret in position. Like, he already anticipated that this is what Dark was going to go for.
Yeah, for good reason. Stargazers being the reason. The map is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's why we have a couple more turrets being thrown down. We see 2+2 on the way for Time as well. He's got his 4th base fully operational. Like, looking at the workers, again, like, Time is even right now in bases and economy, and that's always a better thing for Terran.
Yeah, he's actually pretty close to maxing out, and I gotta say, I like his army a lot more than Dark's. If you can take advantage of a choke point, if you can siege up on a cliff, then Dark is going to have his work cut out for him when it comes to engaging, especially if he gets his mutas caught out in the middle of the map.
Oh my god, yeah, Dark has to be very careful. So far, he hasn't lost a single muta, but does sustain a lot of losses. He was unable to catch Time out of position, but he's going to be trying once again, and right now he's buying time for more of his Ling Bane to be ready.
Yeah, slowly but surely. He is now maxed out. Infestation Pit is on the way, so he's looking to get into his late game army. Decent connections on a couple of these Banelings, but I don't think that they were efficient enough here for Dark. He's waiting for Time to just edge deeper and deeper into creep, while he also sends a massive run by across the map.
Yeah, he's going for a massive counterattack. The mutas and the Lings are going across the wall. Is not a wall. We do have a couple of reinforcements here. How good are these Widow Mine shots going to be? One Widow Mine goes down immediately.
And the other one gets picked off before it can shoot its shot. Dark forces the entire Terran army to turn around and come back home. Eventually, this is going to get chased away, but not before Dark picks off 14 SCVs and also keeps his own bases alive while he transitions to a more sophisticated army.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this was pretty necessary damage for Dark. He was falling behind economically, which is something you don't see too often, so for him to basically delete a mineral line was pretty important. Now he gets his own 5th base up and running. He has time to breathe. He can catch up in upgrades. I say catch up. He's still working on 2-2, +2 carapace was delayed, and I worry there's going to be a pretty strong timing here once Time does kick into 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, the upgrades for Dark are still a little bit lacking. He only now started his hive, so that's going to be a massive window of opportunity for Time to take advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it goes to show how gas-intensive mutas are and how much they do affect your upgrades in the long run. One of these turrets going to be going down does weaken this position here. At the same time, massive Baneling run by going to be looking to try and slip in towards the natural once again.
Yeah, it might work out for him. We shall see.
God,
Dark, yeah, not the best trade for him here. Little bit overzealous engaging around the edge of creep. Good run by on the Banelings though. 12 SCVs already going down and a whole lot more where that came from.
Yeah, exactly. The Banelings, they roll in towards the natural, the 3rd, and the main base as well. So a lot of SCVs are going to be going down. At the same time, Time has to focus on this main push here. Even if right now he's losing a lot of workers across the map, he does take out a hatchery.
And that's already a pretty big victory for him. He needs to keep going, though. He needs to keep going before Time is able to get all of his Lings in position, morph all of them into Banelings. Mutalisks are going ham in those mineral lines, but yeah, Time is just Dark, sorry, is just waiting for Time to get 1 millimeter too close.
Yeah, exactly. Dark is being so patient right now. We did see, oh my god, he's going to be losing a couple of these mutas. A massive Thor shot does go up, and the Marines catch them as they try to escape.
Yeah, very nice pickups here from Time. I mean, he's traded pretty efficiently. And looking at the Bank of Dark here, he doesn't really have much gas remaining. I have to wonder if he's looking to trade some of these mutas, but trade them for what is going to be the question. He can't get any other unit other than Lings.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Ultra Cabin. Yeah, he doesn't have an Ultra Cabin to try and switch tech. He doesn't have a Greater Spire either, so he's not ready yet. He's still stuck on Ling Bane Muta, but that's a lot of Ling Bane, and I feel like at this point, this main push here from Time, I don't think it's going to be enough here. We do have a decent amount of Widow Mines, but that's still a lot of Ling Bane.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Time just needs to be a little bit patient here, I should say. Doesn't get too bloodlusted when it comes to this push. It's still definitely possible for Dark to come in from 3 different angles and still wipe out the entire Terran army, but I do want to give the advantage here to Time, depending on just because of his upgrades and because he has the more sophisticated army.
Yeah, but he has to make use of those upgrades sooner rather than later. We do see that at the moment he's being picked apart. 3-3 has been done for a while here for Time. 3-3 is now on the way for Dark. He's also got an Ultra Cavern that just finished up, so he is looking to transition into Ultras. And if Time doesn't do anything soon, like, he may be overwhelmed.
He really, really could. He is not set up at all to fight against Ultras. How many Marauders does he have in his army? None anymore. 8. Sorry. He has 8 Marauders in his army.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as Ultras hit the field, we need a Ghost production at the same time. A massive Ling run by.
Yeah, it will run into a wall, but the sheer quantity of Lings are enough to just break on through it. Adrenal Glands finished up a while earlier as well, so these are cracklings. They are a little bit more effective than otherwise.
They really are, and here we go. Time is committed. He was maxed out. He's going to be sending a small force back, I guess. But here we go. The Banelings are rolling on in.
And I don't think they're going to trade efficiently here. Yeah, Dark notices there aren't any Marines in this army, and so he pulls away. Marines are chipping away at this 5th base location, or 6th base location, sorry. Getting whatever they can. Banelings bust on in, and the Lings are coming in just to clean up the rest.
The Widow Mines, they do end up borrowing. How good are the shots going to be? They're going to be half decent here, but there's still so much Ling Bane, and it looks like Time is turning around.
That was a very juicy Widow Mine connection, but unfortunately, those Banelings were still in range of the bio, so they went down with it.
And after all said and done, Dark did lose 2 hatcheries, basically 3 hatcheries. He's getting into Ultras, but look at the supplies right now. Time was patient, he was efficient, he did turn around and go back home. His tanks and Widow Mines survived. He scans to see, hold on, you don't have a gold base. Mate, things aren't looking too bad here for our Terran player.
Yeah, he's definitely got the better economy right now, mining just about twice the minerals and keeping up when it comes to the gas income as well. Dark does have his Ultralists out now, but because Time was able to trade out all of those Marauders and all of those Marines, now he's getting Liberators. He doesn't have a Ghost Academy yet, but he's making sure that he's not neglecting his Marauder production.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Ghost would be ideal right now, but he's got the second best thing. You know, he's got Thors, tanks, Marauders, and Liberators. At the same time, we do see a bit of a double drop here. I think this is maybe a little bit of a mistake. Time is going to be throwing away some supply here.
Yeah, definitely a very ambitious drop coming out here for Time. Nice pickoff on this hatchery once again. Could argue that Time was just looking to clear up some of his supply.
It is possible, but every supply counts right now. We do see a bit of a Ling run by here on the right-hand side. Does get caught by Time. He is able to keep up. There is a planetary in position as well, as we have another Ling run by head towards the natural base. The wall was never rebuilt here, but the reinforcements are going to be enough to clean this up.
Like so. It's a lot of blood.
Oh yeah, a lot of blood there. Let's go. Neo still frames and high-sec order tracking on the way. The ultimate Terran upgrades. We have hit the late game. And finally, it's late, but we have a Ghost Academy.
It's the final form.
Oh my god, we're just missing advanced boosters. No, what's the medevac upgrade? What's it called?
Burner something.
Yeah, afterburners. Something like that.
Afterburners, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was. Very juicy connection from those Widow Mines onto all of those Zerglings. Mutalists are across the map right now, unable to really deal with those. No! Neo Steel Frame got denied!
It's over, Papi. Ay, ay, ay. The final form will not be complete as the Mutas have overwhelmed the defenses here. He gets on top of that pocket base. Not the most important mining base, but a mining base nonetheless. At the same time, Dark lost one of his more crucial southern hatcheries.
Yeah, I mean, every bit of income counts at this point. We're getting into a bit of a split map scenarios. Triple Thor drop is going to be enough to chase this away and really, really weaken the Mutalists as well. A lot of them are deep into the red.
H Quanta, is that you? Oh, goddess, here we go. Time has been able to fortify his defenses back at home. He's rebuilding his E-base because he knows how important Neo Steel Frames really is.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that and turrets, I guess.
Turrets are okay.
But you need the Neo Steel Frame to keep the turrets alive, though.
You really do.
Is the thing.
As Time is going to be forcing himself in once again. This time, we don't have that much Ling Bane. Lings we do have. Banelings not so much. Ultras have to try and make up for that. Here we go as this hatchery is under threat once again. And once again, Dark doesn't want to fight with his mutas. He's going for a massive counterattack. And this planetary is looking quite vulnerable.
Yeah, 0 turrets whatsoever over in that location. Dark really needs to be careful. He is hesitant to attack that entrenched Terran army. Yeah, this base is pretty much going to be forfeit here for Time.
Yeah, and a couple of SCVs trickle in as well. Time taking out the fresh base here of Dark, but likewise, Dark takes out the fresh base of Time. So both players are hurting economically now. Both players are maxed out. We're struggling when it comes to workers. We're struggling when it comes to bases. But Dark is the one who is triple expanding. He is the one who is looking to establish these hatcheries.
Yeah, economically, Dark is bouncing back. I still prefer Time's army right now, but if Dark is able to slow this game down and just keep continuing to harass base after base after base, we're going to get to a point where he can't sustain that army anymore. So anti-air over here, some decent snipes pop off, but I think a lot of them actually connect with the Overseers. All of the Lings get taken out, as well as all of these Ultralists. Dark, very, very unfortunate trade coming out for him.
Very unfortunate trade. Here we go. Dark, he just YOLOs across the map with his mutas. This is his really only army remaining as he lost so many expensive ultras that he will not be rebuilding. Ghosts are here to defend, but Ghosts aren't the most ideal unit against these mutas, so they're having a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, slowly trying to snipe them one by one. Dark getting a couple of SCVs here and there, but still trading very, very inefficiently.
Yeah, exactly, as the Ghosts are getting their snipes off one after another. The mutas are going down here, and Time is rebuilding. He was thinking about turning around with his army, but he turns back around. He wants to keep the pressure up. He scans. He sees, again, the fresh mining base of Dark. The most important base right now. Dark cannot lose it.
Yeah, but he's about to. Looking at the state of things right now, more Mutalists pop out, but there's still all of these stores to contend with. And a whole ton of Marines as well. Banelings get decent connections, but nowhere near good enough. GG. Time takes that map, and we are going to our ace match.
GG, well played. After a brutal, long, excruciating back and forth, Time did come out on top. Of course, it did feel like he had the momentum for the most part of that game. We saw things slightly swing in Dark's favor when I think it was the very first Ling counterattack where he got Lings like in almost every base of Time, and that's where things looked a little bit scary. But after he cleaned that up, yeah, Time was in control.
He absolutely was. It was very, very... Yeah, it was also a very, very questionable decision from Dark to just YOLO all of his melee units into the army at the choke point over there. I have to wonder, like, would that fight have gone any differently if he fought with his mutas as well?
That's a good question. That's the problem, right? Because mutas are very fragile, as you're fully aware, and they're best used... they're glass cannons in a way, and they're best used as a harassing force.
You don't seem to die when I'm against them.
Don't think that's a balance issue. I think that's something else going on there, Yaku.
You can say it. It's a skill issue. It is factual.
Yeah, mutas are great at harassing. They're great at picking up reinforcements. I do agree that maybe in some instances they would have been better off maybe not directly engaging with the main army, but just like trying to pick off some tanks or some Thors. But it's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're microing against your opponent, and time is very control intensive as well.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a reason why he's kind of known as the Chinese Bjorn in a way. I think out of all of the foreign Terran players, I'd probably rank him as #1 when it comes to micro. But regardless, we are going to be concluding this best of 3 semifinals. There's already an opponent waiting in the semis. This is a quarterfinals by mistake. Yeah, there's already an opponent waiting, and so we are going to figure out who is moving forward to face Creator in those semis. Is it going to be the Blue Zerg player spawning over here in the bottom left-hand quarter of Inside and also Out? Representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG, from the land of Korea, he is Dark.
And spawning in, oh my god, the top right-hand corner of Inside now, we have the Chinese Terran player representing KZ Gaming, one of the best Terrans in all the entire foreigner scene. It is time.
Now, there are definitely a lot of Zerg players who go pool first in a ZvT for safety or to get queens earlier on. I don't think Dark is one of those players.
He's never safe. He's always throwing caution to the wind.
When Maru's around.
Exactly. When we have a pool this fast, I imagine we're going to be following this up with a fast Roach Warren, but we'll see what Dark has in store for us. As the spawning pool has finished up here, we're working on our minerals. 6 Lings going to be on the way, and there is that Roach Warren.
You love to see it. Probably the best map to pull this off on. SCV is making its way across the map right now, and it's really up to Dark to try to prevent the scout from happening.
Yeah, fun fact, Dark also did this to Vindicta in our WTL match on Friday. 2 days ago, so it was on Tropical Sacrifice. As we do see time slipping out across the map here, he confirms the pool first, of course, with these Lings and with the timing of the hatchery. Unfortunately, he doesn't go all the way, and he doesn't see how committed Dark is.
Yeah, ideally he's going to be playing this out pretty safe though. We'll see if he goes for another 3cc before Starport. If he does, then those Banshees are going to be pretty much the key to keeping him alive here. I'm loving what Dark is doing here with his Lings. I mean, he revealed the pool first early on, but he's keeping the true numbers of his Lings hidden.
Oh yeah, the Lings are here on the right-hand side, recognizing the Reaper stayed at home. He's waiting for the Reaper to move out, which is spotted by Dark, and there we go. As if on cue, the Lings, they slip on in, looking to try and delay the CC.
And they should be able to, yep, just like so. Just a couple of seconds before that CC finishes up as well. I like this from Time, though. He did not panic. He did not turn around immediately with his Reaper. Instead, he did scout the Roaches coming his way, and he is reacting accordingly. He is setting up on the high ground. Yeah,
he's setting up on the high ground. He has a bunker on the way right now. He's got the Tech Lab for the Cyclone or the tank. I imagine it's going to be a Cyclone just to get rid of the Overlord, to get rid of the high ground vision. So great responses here from Time, bearing in mind that it is still a 3cc opener. So once he does, or when he defends, which he should, he'll be primed to macro up from there.
Yeah, Dark is definitely not too committed to this opening right now. Got supply blocked for a little bit. He is joining up now. He is just trying to make sure that Time never is able to expand. At least not before the 5-minute mark.
Exactly, just delay it as much as possible. Meanwhile, here comes that Cyclone. We should be getting a lock on the... Oh, we get it. Yep, on the Overlord. Just to dish out some damage here. If he gets a kill on the Overlord, that ends the aggression, but the Overlord does barely survive.
Barely. It's not going to be able to provide much vision, though, on the high ground anymore. Not when its health is that low. Time doing whatever he can, getting his lock-ons. Great lock-on the Ravager.
Oh my god. Yeah, even gets a kill there, so great control from Time once again. He pulls back, he's able to save this Cyclone. A second Cyclone comes out, and Dark is completely being cleaned up, and now he's in a bit of trouble. There we go. 14 Lings are on the way. Dark has to make sure he has an army here, otherwise he will be rolled over by a counterattack.
If the counterattack happens.
Oh, yeah, and it looks like it will happen, but from Dark, not from Time. As Dark, he's committing, by the way. He is flooding so many lings.
He has finished droning up. Yeah, a lot of lings are coming across the map. He did finish up ling speed a little while earlier. This is going to be a bit of a tough ask for Dark. There's already a tank in the high ground, but hey, there's a wall.
There is no wall. There is one roach here in the mix of things as well. The lings, they flood on forward. They're trying to get on top of the cyclone. They do surround one.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit of friendly fire here. The tank is forced to unsiege. Every single ling goes down, and now Time can just walk across the map and end it.
I can't believe that cyclone didn't die.
Yeah.
I actually can't believe the cyclone did not die. Dark is pretty far behind right now. He just threw away. I'm afraid to look at the units. Let's tab 40. Look at the trade.
4-0.
Look at the trade.
1,400 minerals and 200 gas was lost here for Dark. 225 minerals and 50 gas was lost by Time.
Time lost one Marine in that fight. In that fight, he didn't just not lose the cyclone. He lost one Marine.
Mate, not even a friendly fire. That's like, mate.
Oh, Dark, he's got a lot of catching up to do. He's not dead, of course. There is comeback potential, but he has to hope and pray that really Time makes a mistake. Mistakes that Time can make, other than, of course, not controlling his army, is that maybe he's a little bit too lax, a little bit too passive, and he allows Dark to actually drone up, establish 3 bases, get a 4th, get lair, get upgrades, without too much aggression. But as I say that, yeah, okay, for now, Time is just getting his 3rd up.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a very easy mistake to make as a Terran player, a rookie mistake if you want to call it that, but Time aggression is built into his bones, man. Again, ever since he's been training in Korea, he's been learning from the likes of No Regret. He's been learning from the likes of Bjorn and all of these other super aggressive players. He loves to attack.
He really does love to be the aggressor, and I'm sure right now he's just waiting for some medevacs. Here we go. The first 2 medevacs are about to finish up, and even if he doesn't move out with his entire army, he will be moving out with a drop to apply some pressure to Dark. What does Dark have to defend? Okay, he has been making some roaches and some ravagers. This will be enough to go toe-to-toe with those Marines. As those Marines quickly checking, they do have stim. So.
Am I lagging?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You seem good. You seem okay.
Okay.
Here we go. The drop is across the map here, just working on these. We're working on the rocks. And
I'm lagging.
Okay. You may want to leave.
Yep.
I think you should. Oh.
Yep.
There we go. Beautiful. Yes, we are going to have a very important moment here. It looks like the lag has cleared up, and I'll be able to hopefully share my screen.
I can't.
There we go. Here we go.
I closed Discord to be able to watch the stream.
That's fine. You can do that if you want, so you can come back to me. As we do have the Marine army pushing on forward, the tanks do siege up in time, but here come those Ravagers. The Biles are not going to be connecting with anything at all. As here we go, Time, he just starter steps on forward right now. A couple more Biles are going to be able to buy some time here for Dark. But there's no stopping Time. Really, there is no stopping Time. The tanks, they all siege on up. GG gets called. And Time, it takes the series 2-1.
Yo.
Oh. Beautiful. GG again. Thankfully, you weren't lagging out in the middle of a fight or anything. It was well before the fight during the setup. So it didn't quite impact that game. But as we wait for our next series here, do you want to restart your PC or do you think that's going to take? Is that going to take too long? I don't know how long it takes you.
The PC itself restarting shouldn't take too long, but then I have to open up StarCraft, and then I got to preload, and yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, of course, congratulations to Time as I quickly declare the score. Time does take the series 2-0. And now he's going to be moving on to face another player that is waiting for him. It is going to be Creator.
Yeah. Not going to be a TVZ this time. It's going to be the first TVP that we're going to be seeing on this stream, and also the first that Time is going to be playing.